Welcome to Dual Diagnosis Anonymous. My name is Johnny, and I am Dual Diagnosis, and I'll be facilitating this meeting. Can we please take a moment of silence followed by the serenity prayer? God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Hello once again, it's Friday. I want to welcome you all back to Dual Diagnosis Anonymous meeting. Again, as always, I'd like to give a shout out to my DDA members, and I want y'all to know I love y'all dearly, and I really miss y'all dearly. And like I keep saying, I hope that we'll be back together soon. I should find out something today. We're going down to the jail and speak to the cadets, and once I talk to Mr. Steve, once I hear from him, I'll let you all know. It's just kind of a risky thing right now because this coronavirus, people jumped out too soon, and it's going to, and it's ramping back up a little bit as I'm seeing, and as everybody else is seeing. So we're just going to play it by ear, but until then, we're going to continue to do these videos. Speaking on that note, I was just thinking about how people are jeopardizing our way of life through their lack of self-control. It reminds me of back in the day when we was in school, you got discipline for your actions, and as you grew up, as a kid, we didn't want paddling. When they took those paddlings out of school, it screwed up a lot of people. Because I know every time I would get ready to get in trouble, I always thought about Mr. Mosley and Mr. John Ford, and Mr. Ford had a paddle that had holes in it, so before it hit you, it was whistling, so you knew it was coming, So before you got into any trouble, you would always think about what you was doing before you actually did it. That's called self-discipline, or another word for it, self-control. But you can't have self-control without self-discipline. And self-discipline is a taught lesson. It's not something that you just grow up having. That's something that you have to be taught. And as we don't grow up, we've gotten away from all of that, from our roots. And we don't have no self-discipline, less known self-control. So today I want to talk about that so that hopefully I can help somebody out to understand that you got to get back to your roots. How you going to discipline your children when you don't have no self-discipline? How you going to teach your children self-control when you don't have self-control? How you going to teach somebody, period? How you going to tell them what to do when you can't control what you're doing? Self-control. We all got to have it. Especially, that's why so many people are impulsive right now. They do things on a whim. They think before they speak because they have no self-control. Therefore, their lives are out of control. So today, I hope it's going to be a real good message for those that needs this, because Lord knows, I had to learn my lesson years ago, and when I was in treatment, I was very impulsive, so I had to walk around with a green frog around my neck because I was very impulsive, and I would do things before I thought about it. Suffer the consequences later. But my therapist told me, he said, I want you to wear this frog to every class you go to, and you better not say anything until somebody asks you. I thought it was the most stupidest idea, but that was the greatest idea that he could have ever taught me, because what he did is he taught me how to have self-control. Before I could say anything, people would say, well, why are you wearing that frog around your neck? And hi, my name is Johnny. I'm very impulsive. I think before I leap before I think. I still remember my line. And here today, I still practice that same principle because they taught me self-discipline. So I hope today that somebody listening to this message can learn how to relearn how to have self-control in their life so that their life won't be so out of control. So how to improve your self-control is my topic. First, what is self-control? Self-control is the ability to control impulses and reactions, and is another name for self-discipline. Self-control is one mark of a mature person. It applies to control of language, physical treatment of others, and the appetite of the body. There was a quote that I came across by Joseph B. It is not some kind of negative or limiting behavior, as some people might think. When self-control is used wisely and within common sense, it becomes one of the most important tools for self-improvement and for achieving success. Self-control is vital for overcoming obsessions, fear, addictions, and any other unsuitable behavior. It puts you in control of your life, your behavior, and your reactions. It improves your relationships, develops patience and tolerance, and is an important tool for attaining success and happiness. Despite many may think, self-discipline is a learned behavior. It requires practice and repetition in your day-to-day life. To improve your own self-discipline, test out these 5 proven methods for gaining better control. This regimen will help you to establish good habits, break bad ones, and improve your control by making simple changes to your everyday routine. Improved self-discipline will allow you to live a freer life by helping you to make healthier choices, not emotional ones. Give it a shot. Your happiness will thank you for it later. The first thing I want to talk about is removing temptations. Self-control is often easiest when abiding by the old saying, out of sight, out of mind. Removing all temptations and distractions from your environment is a crucial first step when working to improve your self-discipline. If you're trying to have better control over your eating, toss out the junk food. Ask your office intern to leave you off of the daily lunch order email. If you want to improve your focus while working, turn off your cell phone and remove the clutter from your desk. If you're really having trouble, download a self-control app on your computer and block distraction websites like Facebook, YouTube, email for a set period of time. Set yourself up for success by ditching the bad influences. Number 2, eat regularly and healthy. Studies have shown that low blood sugar often weakens a person's resolve. When you're hungry, your ability to concentrate suffers as your brain is not functioning to its highest potential. Hunger makes it difficult to focus on your task at hand, not to mention making you grumpy and pessimistic. You are much more likely to have a weakened sense of self-control in all areas of your life: diet, exercise, work, relationships, you name it. In order to stay on track, make sure that you are well fueled throughout the day with healthy snacks and meals every few hours. I personally make sure I always have some kind of snack on hand. These snacks ensure that I can get a dose of healthy protein and fats throughout the day when needed. Eating often regulates your blood sugar levels and improves your decision-making skills and concentration. Allow your brain to focus on your goals and priorities instead of your growling stomach. Number 3, don't wait for it to feel right. Improving your self-discipline means changing up your normal routine, which can be uncomfortable and awkward. Charles Duhigg, author of The Power of Habit, explains that habit behavior are traced to a part of the brain called the basal ganglia, a portion of the brain associated with emotions, patterns, and memories. Decisions, on the other hand, are made in the prefrontal cortex, a completely different area of the brain. When a behavior becomes a habit, we stop using our decision-making skills and instead function on autopilot. Therefore, breaking a bad habit and building a new habit not only requires us to make active decisions, it will feel wrong. Your brain will resist the change in behavior of what has been programmed to do, what it has been programmed to do. The solution: embrace the wrong. Acknowledge that it will take a while for your new regimen to feel right or good or natural. Number 4, schedule breaks, treats, and reward yourself. Self-discipline does not mean your new regimen needs to be entirely cold turkey, hardcore, or drill sergeant-like in execution. In fact, giving yourself zero wiggle room often results in failures, disappointment, and giving into old ways. While practicing self-control, schedule specific breaks, threats, and rewards for you. Dieting. Designate Saturday as ice cream Sunday day. Trying to lose weight? Treat yourself with a fancy massage after a month of gym tips. Working on controlling your spending. Allow yourself a $25 splurge at a mall on Sunday. Leave the credit cards at home and bring cash only. Self-discipline can be hard, but you can reward the effort. Number 5, forgive yourself and move forward. Instituting a new way of thinking won't always go according to plan. You would have ups and downs, fabulous success, and flat out failures. The key is to keep moving forward. When you have a setback, acknowledge what caused it and move on. It's easy to get wrapped up in guilt, anger, and frustration, but these emotions would not help you build improve self-discipline. Instead, use the hiccups in your plan as learning experiences for the future. Forgive yourself and get back on the saddle ASAP. The longer you're off the game, the harder it is to keep going in a positive direction. So I'm going to do a recap on that so that everybody understands what that means. Remove the temptations. Removing all temptations and distractions from your environment is a crucial step when working to improve your self-discipline. Eat regularly and eat healthy. When you're hungry, your ability to create suffers as your brain is not functioning at its highest potential. Hunger makes it difficult to focus on the task at hand, not to mention making you grumpy and pessimistic. You are much more likely to have a weakened sense of self-control in all areas of your life: diet, exercise, work, relationship, you name it. Don't wait for it to feel right. Improving your self-discipline means changing up your normal routine, which can be uncomfortable and awkward. Schedule breaks, treats, and reward yourself. While practicing self-control, schedule specific breaks, treats, and rewards for you. Forgive yourself and move forward. You will have ups and downs, fabulous successes, and flat-out failures. The key is to keep moving forward. When you have a setback, acknowledge it, acknowledge what caused it, and move on. It's easy to get wrapped up in guilt, anger, and frustration, but for these emotions would not help improve your self-discipline. And like I said before, self-discipline is taught. It ain't something that's given to us. You know, I don't be bashing Christians when I talk about them, but I know a lot of Christians that call themselves trying to serve God, but they don't even have no self-discipline. If you can't abide by the laws of the land, then how you going to abide by the laws of heaven? That takes some self-control. And self-control is something that I have to practice if I want to stay on track. You know, I want to share a quick little story before I close about a young man that I was in treatment with, and he had no kind of self-control. We was in treatment for 6 months, but because of his lack of self-control, if you got in trouble, you got discipline. And your discipline might be you may not be able to have your family come visit you. And if you don't get it right, that's 30 days that you don't see your family. And if you don't get it right between those 30 days, they'll tack another 30 days on there. So I know Q did not see his family for about 5 months because he just did not want to abide by the rules and regulations of the program. People that have ODD has a problem with self-control because they want to do things the way they want to do them. And that's just how they feel. That's how they think. But self-control is something that we must practice. Why do you think the world is so out of control? Because the people in leadership have no kind of self-control. They have no discipline. Everything's supposed to be the way that they want it to be. And then when you look at our communities, you have the peaceful protesters. See, those people are practicing self-discipline because they're doing peaceful protesting. But those that does not have self-control are the looters. They're running around here breaking into stuff, doing stuff that they're not supposed to be doing. You can see the difference. But my question is, what about you? Do you have self-control? Have you lost your roots? Have you forgotten where you came from and what you was taught? Do you find yourself trying to tell other people what to do and what not to do and you're not doing it? Do you find yourself trying to teach your kids and discipline your kids when you don't have discipline yourself? These are some things to just think about. Like I said, I'm not here to change people's way of thinking. I'm just trying to give you something different to think about. If you want to change your way of thinking, then that would be on you, not on me. I'm just the messenger, carrying the message. The self-discipline is really important. Like I said, it keeps you on track. It lessens your anxiety. It lessens your stress levels. It helps you to manage your depression. Self-control, man. I pray that you got something out of this message. I have to go downtown and speak at the jail to the cadets in training. We go down there periodically and we carry the message of hope to them. And I hope that you all understand the importance of self-discipline and self-control. Because, like I said, without self-control, there's no consequences for our actions. And because nobody have consequences for their actions, they feel like they can do whatever they want to do, whenever they want to do it, and however they want to do it. And that's a big problem. So before I close, I like to close out in an unusual way. Like I said, I'm only going to do 15 minutes, well, a little over 15 minutes. I'm not going to do it like I normally do it because I got to go downtown. But I wish you all the best. And like I said before, if you want to share this message, share it with others so that they can actually hear it. That's how you help other people. You know, that's how you help them. And we want to try to get this message to as many people as we can. We can't change the whole world, but we can change some of the people in the world to help change the world. If the people corrupted the world, then the people can change the world. So just for today in DDA, I will be focused on my DDA recovery program of the 12 steps plus 5. Just for the day, I will remain clean and sober, and if I'm taking medications, I will do so as prescribed. Just for the day, I will keep an open mind and be willing to listen to the advice of my DDA support group, my prescriber, and my clinician. Just for the day, I will allow myself to have faith in someone in the DDA program who has faith in me and my recovery. Just for the day, I will have a program. I recognize that I may make mistakes along the way, but I will allow the DDA program to the best of my ability. I will follow the DDA program to the best of my ability. Just for today, I will utilize the DDA program of shared experiences, strength, solidarity, and hope in order to gain a better perspective on my life. Just for today, I will not dwell on the past nor place undue concern on the future. Just for today, I will not grant fear or worry space in my thoughts. By choosing to live one day at a time and by following the DDA principles of DDA, I need not be afraid. Just for today, I will see how working an honest program is helping others and allow the blessings of my higher power to flow throughout my life. Just for today, I will allow myself to be free. Just for today, I will allow myself to be me. I will accept myself for whom I am and where I am. I will allow others the same courtesy, that they may be free to grow and that I may be freed from the burden of resentments. Just for today, I will live life on life terms. If I become unable to do this, then I will place trust in my higher power and remind myself to just let go and let God. Just for today, I will live life on life's terms. And by doing so, I will recognize when I need help for my symptoms of my dual diagnosis, or when I'm in danger of relapse, I will seek help from the fellowship of DDA, my higher power, my prescriber, and my clinician. Just for today. I got those last two kind of mixed up a little bit, but for those that understand the reading, they know what it meant. So I want to thank you for tuning in today. I pray that God be with you and encourage you, and I pray that He teaches you self-discipline, because if you want to do God's will instead of self-will, then you're going to have some self-control, because you can't have both. If you want to follow God, I guarantee you better have some discipline, because how can you do what He wants you to do when you don't have no self-control? You can't just do what you want to do when you're following God. You can't just do what you want to do when you're working an honest program. If you want to become clean and sober, then you can't still be drinking. If you're working on yourself, I was so proud of one of my members when I talked to her this morning. I was so proud of her because she kind of fell back into her daily routine, but she made sure that she got herself out of that routine because she understands what working the program is about. And self-control is about being honest with yourself, doing the next right thing. When you find yourself slipping backwards, yes, that's okay. That's normal. You get back on the horse and straddle down a little tighter, and you keep on moving forward. So, before, as we close, we'd like to close out in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. God bless you. Have a blessed weekend.